Before you hear this story, ask yourself one thing. What if someone warned you about your future pain, and later you discovered that person was never supposed to exist? Tonight, I am sharing a real incident, narrated exactly as it was told to me, about a girl, an illness with no medical explanation, and a friend who knew everything before it happened. I am reading this exactly the way it was written. The writer begins by saying, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rabiu Sani Nuhas. Today, I will share an incident that happened to my cousin's sister. Before starting the incident, let me mention my sister's name. Her name is Israt Jahan Safia. This incident happened to her. I will try to narrate it exactly the way my sister told it. This incident took place in 2013. At that time, I was an intermediate level student. In November 2012, we moved to a new house. The building had 4 floors, and we moved into the second floor. The people living on the floor below us became very close to us in a short time. One reason our relationship grew stronger was that there was a girl of my age living there. Her name was Nishi. She was also an intermediate student, so we bonded quickly. In the afternoons, we often went up to the rooftop to talk. Time passed, and our exams arrived. During that period, we couldn't go to the rooftop regularly like before. After the exams ended, Nishi and I started hanging out on the rooftop again, just like before. One day, while talking, the topic of ghosts became the main subject of our conversation. She asked me, "Do you believe in jinn?" I said, "Yes, I do." She asked, "Have you ever seen them?" I shook my head and said no. Laughing, I said, "Nishi, you're asking as if you've seen one yourself." Nishi said, "I want to tell you something." I said, "Okay, say it." Just then the Maghrib Azan was called. Nishi said, "Come to our house after 1 hour. I want to tell you something." I said, "Okay, I'll come tomorrow." She said, "No, today." I felt strange about it. Even though I didn't want to, I said, "Okay." That was the first time I went to her house. She took me straight to her room. It was a small but very neat room. She asked me to sit. After 5 to 10 minutes of conversation, I noticed that every time she tried to tell me something, her mother would interrupt. It felt like her mother didn't allow Nishi to speak openly with anyone, or maybe she was trying to listen secretly. Anyway, I ignored it. While talking, I suddenly felt very thirsty. Nishi went to another room to get water. At that moment, my eyes fell on her table. I saw a large bottle filled with water. I opened the bottle to drink, and suddenly her mother came into the room and said, "Don't touch that. That's Nishi's water-filled bottle." She entered so suddenly that I got startled, and the bottle slipped from my hand and fell. Nishi came and said, "It's okay, I'll clean it." It felt like her mother was angry with me. Then Nishi closed the door and sat beside me. I asked her, "What is this water kept for?" After thinking for a moment, she said, "Leave that. I'll tell you everything." Then she asked, "Do you jump rope every morning?" I said, "Yes, sometimes." She grabbed my hand tightly and said, "Please don't jump rope anymore." I asked, "Do you have trouble sleeping? I can jump rope in the afternoon instead." She shook her head and said, "I'm telling you, never jump rope again." I was honestly getting angry inside, but I didn't show it. She was talking as if I didn't even have the freedom to jump rope in my own house. I couldn't understand why it was a problem for her. I said, "Look, if there's no serious reason, don't forbid me." She interrupted me and said, "You'll get hurt, you'll suffer. I'm requesting you, please, Safia. I want good for you." This time I got angry. I removed her hand and said, "Either tell me the reason or don't stop me." Then I left. She called me several times from behind, but I didn't respond. That night, I felt very bad. I thought I shouldn't have talked to her like that. I decided that if I met her on the rooftop the next day, I would apologize. But I didn't find her on the rooftop the next day, so I went straight to her house. I saw that their flat was locked. From my mother, I learned that they had gone to their village. I thought we would meet later. Meanwhile, I started jumping rope again. I thought since they weren't home, there would be no problem. I jumped rope freely. Suddenly, I noticed pain in my waist. Even then, I continued. I thought if I skipped exercise, my body would hurt even more. But the pain didn't reduce at all. It turned into unbearable agony. I started secretly taking paracetamol, but nothing worked. Some days passed, and I was taking 4 to 5 paracetamols a day, yet the pain didn't go away. My mother noticed that I was getting weaker. I couldn't move around like before. I felt lifeless. One day, unable to bear the pain, I cried in front of my mother. She said she would take me to the doctor the next day. Somehow, I passed the night. In the morning, I woke up with fever, and the pain crossed all limits. I couldn't even sit up. I called my mother. She got scared seeing my condition and helped me sit. I had never experienced such pain before. It felt like my waist bones were broken. My throat was drying up from pain. After about 30 minutes, I managed to sit and ask my mother for water. I drank 3 full glasses. It wasn't just my throat, it felt like my soul had dried up. As the day passed into afternoon, the pain intensified further. It felt like severe muscle cramps, the kind you get while sleeping, but much worse. I couldn't tolerate it anymore. My mother was extremely worried. My maternal uncle is an orthopedic doctor. My mother called him and explained everything. X-rays showed no fracture, but he couldn't understand the cause of such pain. The medicine he gave worked only while its effect lasted. Day by day, my condition worsened. I ate and slept sitting on the bed. Even a toilet arrangement was made inside the room. My mother handled everything alone. She was a government school headmistress, so she couldn't be with me all day. I started feeling extremely lonely. I felt like I couldn't survive without my mother. My world was shrinking. On Facebook, I saw my friends getting admitted to different universities. It made me feel worse, as if everyone was forgetting me. After 20 days with no improvement, on my uncle's advice, we went to another doctor. He asked for an MRI. Since I couldn't walk, I was taken in a wheelchair. Sitting there, I thought, if this is my life now, I won't survive. The doctor gave me medicine and said I would get better. I didn't believe him and started crying in front of him. My mother prayed and cried every day for my recovery. Hearing her cry from the other room, I cried too. The days were extremely painful. After some days, one night, I was alone in my room when I woke up hearing crying. It sounded like a baby crying so hard that it felt like the baby would vomit. I called my mother, but she didn't come. I tried to sit up on my own despite the pain. I don't know how long it took, but I eventually managed to sit. Now I had to stand. Holding the wall, I tried to stand. It felt like my nerves were tearing apart. I heard the baby coughing along with crying. I felt something bad would happen if I couldn't calm the baby. Somehow I stood up. My throat was dry, but I didn't drink water, fearing I wouldn't be able to stand again. I kept walking slowly, holding the wall step by step into the next room. I don't know how long it took. I saw a beautiful baby, around 8 or 9 months old. I said, "Look, I'm here. Don't cry. Come to me." The baby didn't come, so I tried to calm it from where I stood. After some time, the crying stopped. The baby smiled at me. I felt happy and tried to make the baby laugh more. Suddenly, my mother called me. I responded and opened my eyes to realize I had been sleeping. I was dreaming. That morning, I tried to sit up again, thinking I could do it since I did it in the dream, but I couldn't. I smiled bitterly and thought, a dream is just a dream. After that, I started seeing the baby frequently in my dreams. I talked and played with the baby, but never touched it. There was always a distance between us. One day, the dream was different. I woke up hearing the baby laugh. I ran to the next room to see the baby. The pain was unbearable, but I still moved toward the baby. I couldn't tell if it was a dream or reality. It all felt real. I saw the baby sitting on the bed, laughing and playing. Beside the baby, a woman was praying. The baby, seeing me, tried to crawl toward me and was close to falling off the bed. I shouted to the praying woman, "Please hold the baby, it will fall." She didn't seem to hear me. When the baby moved forward, I ran and caught it. The woman looked startled. I woke up hearing the Fajr Azan. I thought to myself, if I hadn't caught the baby, it would have been hurt. Then I realized it was just a dream. That day, I felt less pain than usual. I slowly began recovering. Within a few days, I could sit and stand by myself. Everything was by Allah's mercy and my mother's prayers. Some days later, Nishi came to see me. I was very happy. I said, "Didn't you know I was sick? Why didn't you come?" She said, "Didn't I tell you not to jump rope? Look what happened." She smiled and said, "You'll run again, just like how you ran to save the baby." I was shocked. How did she know about my dream? I hadn't told even my mother. After she left, I later went to her house and asked her mother where Nishi was. Her mother looked at me and said, "You don't know? Nishi ran away from home 3 months ago and got married." I was stunned. 3 months ago. Then who had I spoken to just days earlier? Who was with me that day? This was my incident. If you are interested in Nishi's life story, I can share it. But I will say this. After that, I never saw her again. We moved houses a few months later. This story is confusing but very interesting. The question is, who was Nishi? How did she know everything? If this happened to you, how would you feel?